Like, bruh, I don't know who's gonna watch this shit. And then let me tell you, I can already tell you guys when we get to the next. We're gonna get to the next paragraph, but I do want to say this. What is the one thing? And you guys know where I'm going with this. What is the one defense that is gonna happen? Not if, but when this show fails, because it will. When it doesn't get enough viewers, because it won't. When the actors and the actresses have to hit the panic button on this show, when they realize it's a failure, what are they going to do? What is the one defense that all the producers, the writers, the directors, everybody, the actors and actresses, what are they going to do? Michael B. Jordan says they are developing a Creed spinoff TV show about Adonis's daughter. You'll be seeing different parts of the Creed verse, I like to call it. So I had to tweet this out. I retweeted and said, with the picture of, are you dumb? Because that has got to be the most idiotic thing you could ever do when it comes to the Creed franchise, which is still technically a spinoff. Not even technically, it is a spinoff of the Rocky franchise. So, Rocky franchise. But that's a whole nother story, whatever. I'm going to go to this Variety article because he's virtue signaling already in a paragraph before that, but it's not about Creed, so we don't need to talk about it. But he had an interview with Variety, and this comes from their article in their interview. It's a franchise that's really that's been really kind to me in a big way. I love MGM and Irwin Winkler and everything they've got going on. I think there's a bit more story to be mined through. Do I want to be in the ring boxing for the next 15 years? Not so much. But I think there are clever ways and interesting characters we've established that we might want to see where that goes, along with some introductions to new ones that I have in mind. I still might be able to get a couple really good swings at the franchise a bit more. Now, before we get to the next article where he starts talking about Adonis's daughter, Creed 1, and I've said this for years, not ever since Creed 3 even came out, but even before Creed 3 came out, well, my opinions on the first two. I liked the first one. I wasn't a big fan of the second one, but the second one was good, but it was not nearly as good as the first Creed. You very well could have stopped at Creed 1, but they ended up doing Creed 2. And once they did Creed 2, I was actually glad they did Creed 3 when I actually sat down and watched it, because Creed 3 redeemed Creed 2 in terms of, in my opinion, my perspective. Creed 2 was good. Creed 3 was better. It wasn't great. It wasn't anything groundbreaking or anything like that. Now, Creed 1 wasn't even groundbreaking. These are really good movies at best. But these aren't movies where I'm like, oh, I'm going to cherish this movie forever and put it, like, you guys have to understand. And that's what I don't get from these studios. It's not like this is a $1 billion franchise. Like, you got rid of Sylvester Stallone, you screwed him over. Thank God he doesn't have any ill will towards Michael B. Jordan, or else his word of mouth would have gotten really bad for Creed 3. It could have gotten really messy for Creed 3. But this is where we are with the Rocky franchise. Now with the Creed movies. And now you're talking about we're going to do a Creed verse. Like, fam, this is a Rocky verse, first of all. Second of all, nobody even asked for a Creed movie. We were glad that we got the first one, but the other two we didn't need. And now we're talking about a spinoff, and not even a spinoff for, and it's a spinoff of a spinoff, by the way, that continues to happen as we point out in the past couple years. This is continuing to happen. Spinoffs of fucking spinoffs. Another issue. But not only are we doing that, not only are we doing a spinoff of a spinoff for a show, but you're doing his half-deaf daughter, who we just got I wouldn't say we got introduced to her in this past movie, but we got introduced to her fighting in this past movie already at school. Like, bruh, I don't know who's gonna watch this shit. And then let me tell you, I can already tell you guys when we get to the next. We're gonna get to the next paragraph, but I do want to say this. What is the one thing? And you guys know where I'm going with this. What is the one defense that is gonna happen? Not if, but when this show fails, because it will. When it doesn't get enough viewers, because it won't. When the actors and the actresses have to hit the panic button on this show, when they realize it's a fucking failure, what are they going to do? What is the one defense that all the producers, the writers, the directors, everybody, the actors and actresses, what are they going to do? Not only are they going to say that you're racist because it's a black chick, not only are they going to say that you're sexist because it's a chick, but they're also going to say that you're a disableist. I think that's what they call them, right? The disableist. When you don't like handicapped people, or when you say something bad about handicapped people. So now we're going to sit here and watch this horrible fucking show, because it is going to be horrible. It's a horrible fucking show about a black female disabled, or a black disabled female box. Just off the premise of that, do you want to watch that show? Because I sure as fuck don't. If you were to put Echo, which already came out, if you were to put that god awful show on paper in front of me and put Adonis's Daughter's show in front of me on paper, I'm picking Echo's show. And Echo was a complete dumpster fire. That show was complete hot dog shit. But yet you want me to sit through an entire show, not just 2 hours, but an entire series of Adonis Creed's deaf daughter box. This is the most girl boss. This is the worst idea I have ever heard when it comes to picking up a show from a large franchise. And when I say large, I'm not even saying it makes all this money. When I say large franchise, I mean it's got a bunch of fucking movies. You got 6 Rocky movies and 3 Creed movies. So a franchise that has 9 movies, you're going to spin off into a series of the least likable character. I want to say least likable because it is a little girl. I don't want to be mean, but nobody gives a shit about this little girl, man. I didn't give a shit about her in Creed 2. Creed 3, when I rewatched it on VOD, I had to skip through all the parts with the deaf daughter. Nobody gives a shit. I'm going to just be honest. At the end of the day, we don't care. And you're going to be wasting your money, wasting resources, wasting another slot to where you could make another show about a completely original cast, original fucking story that people might actually like. Let's go ahead and get to the next paragraph. Sorry about all that, but y'all know how I do, man. I be ranting all the time, whatever. We're spinning off doing Adonis's Daughter. Amara. Oh, yeah, Amara or Amara. I forget how you say it. I think it's Amara. That's how it's pronounced. Amara's story. The television show, and if they do this, can they just pick the girl that played Amara? Do we have to recast her? Can you just pick the girl who played the original Amara in the show? I'm pretty sure she's old enough now because this movie's Creed 3 is what, 4 years old, 3 years old, something like that, 3 or 4 years old. Can you just pick the original? We don't have to recast. Just do it that way. And if you can't get the original chick, then maybe you shouldn't be doing the damn series to begin with. But anyways, the television show that's picked up at Amazon. So of course, Amazon Prime, it fits the mold, is all I'll say. And if you don't know what I mean by that, just go and watch. Just search the Batman shows, the Batman animated shows that are on Amazon that are actually distributed through Prime Video, and then come back to me. So you'll be seeing different parts of the Creed verse, I like to call it. And again, it's not the Creed verse, it is the Rocky verse. I don't understand where this whole disparity of let me spin something off and then call it that. You can't call it a Miles Morales verse. Sorry, it's a Spider-Verse. That's why it's called Spider-Verse. Twitter idiots. These little IPs are going to keep the universe alive without it being completely reliant on just me to push through the finish line every time as a boxer. I'll be adjacent. Here's the thing. I'm completely fine with that. Rocky did the same thing, except, Rocky did also have 6 movies. Just saying. You only have 3, and you're already talking about, not even talking about, you're already spinning it off into something else, to one of the least characters anybody gives a fuck about. Like, we couldn't get a spinoff of Jonathan Major's character. I would love to get a spinoff of Jonathan Major's character. We couldn't have got a spinoff, even though I probably would talk shit about that too, for obvious reasons. But we could have got a spinoff of his wife, of Creed's wife. Maybe go through the whole singing, acting, not acting, but the whole singing industry, all that shit. We couldn't go through that. Nope. Again, I don't get me wrong. I would say stuff about that show as well, but it wouldn't be as bad as this, because we know that character. We've gone through with that character. We know her emotions. We know her backstory, and you could really kind of focus and hone in on that, and actually tell some pretty good stories with that character, with her own series. I'll say the only good news we got from this entire thing, is that it's not going to be a movie. It's not going to be a movie, which I would rather, to be honest, the only reason why I would say I'd rather be a movie is just so it would show MGM or whoever the fucking distributors are of this movie, or whoever the producers are of this movie, including Michael B. Jordan, who for some reason thinks this is going to work, is to really show them that it's not going to fucking work. It's not going to work. And there's a reason why they're doing an Adonis daughter's show. I need to call her by her name. Amara. There's a reason why they're doing Amara's show and not Amara's movie, because the box office would be atrocious. But I don't know. Anyways, man, let me know what you guys think. I think it's a terrible idea to do another spinoff. Again, this is coming from a guy that actually liked all 3 Creed movies. They're not the greatest things since sliced bread or nothing like that. But I think the first one is actually good enough to go raving about to people that don't normally go watch those kind of movies, because I do think that the first Creed was actually a really, really good movie. But the other 2 are, they're good. Yeah. They're not terrible. But again, let me know what you guys think. Hit me in the comments, all that good stuff. Hit that like and subscribe. It's your boy Corn, and I am